allowed to be ourselves legally since 1978 with the establishment of the Religious Freedom Act. Before that, it was a punishable offense that we engage in our culture, that we have pride in who we were, and that we can show up as ourselves.
The land is a relative. The land is everything. The land connects us all, makes us all relatives. I come from a line of agricultural workers who have passed on a lot of traditional ecological knowledge, and that has been engraved in me since growing up. You go to the land and you feel the music, you feel the drum beat, and a lot of these songs have been done for thousands of years, either Mexica songs or other Native California tribal songs. The ancestors kind of call them, inside a little bit in their DNA, and then that kind of takes over. But I believe just stepping in the presence of the ceremony is the start.
I believe that it's all Indian land. It's a sacred place, and it's been hurting for a long time.
If colonization caused issues or was the problem, colonization will not bring healing. And so being back in reconnection with culture, those are our ways. And those are the different ways that we had healing. Colonization that does look different, incorporating aspects of counseling, of mental health and wellness, that does exist in the modern kind of lens and optics, but also having equality with culture in those components, I think those together.
Ceremonies, on my Lakota side, we have Sundance. It's not something that is publicized, so it's just for us to know. As Pomo, we have big times celebrations where the public's able to come and see that, watch us dance, sing, be in prayer, and the powwows are something that I love. The outfits are colorful, the songs are beautiful, and the public is welcome to come to those as well.
Ellos llegaron aquí a conquistarnos, entonces yo creo que nos han imponido, nos han nos han obligado casi como a adaptarnos a sus sistemas, a todos sus conocimientos. Yo creo que tanto la política, la educación y lo católico o la creencia de lo que no pertenecía aquí, pues yo creo que es uno solo, porque ellos nos imponen mucho o nos obligan a hacer lo que ellos nos dicen. Porque pues nosotros nos han obligado, por ejemplo con lo católico, nos han obligado casi a nosotros creer en algo que nosotros pues no conocíamos, y nos han obligado a dejar de creer nuestras creencias, como por ejemplo, a mí, pues yo he crecido con mis abuelos, tatarabuelos, y ellos nos decían, es que existe Dios del agua, existe Dios de la tierra, existe el Dios sol y todo. Y la iglesia lo que ha hecho es que nos decía, es que eso está mal, no crean eso, ustedes crean en un solo Dios que les va a ayudar, no crean eso porque esa es cosa del mar y todo del mal. Entonces eso hizo que en muchas de nuestras comunidades indígenas dejaran de creer en nosotros mismos. Es como dejar de creer en ti mismo. Entonces eso pues nos ha causado mucho daño, aunque no nos hemos dado cuenta, pero sí nos ha causado mucho daño.
Being in prayer, that's definitely close to my heart. As a Native woman, I'm taught to pray. And actually, the first year of my life, it was illegal for my family to do their traditional praying. So that's always so weird for me to say, because that should not be something I'm having to know. But being in prayer, as soon as I wake up, that's how I start my day off. And, I had cancer several times. 2 of those times they said, get your things ready. I know what that meant. But I wake up, I'm still alive. I still have work to do here. So do I believe in prayer? Yes, I do. I do it daily, several times a day.
La Madre Tierra, Mother Earth. I am very connected to La Madre Tierra. I am especially connected to water because the name that I received from the ancestors in a cave in Mexico, I was given the name Shumacari, which means the mother of water. And ever since I was very little, I have had a connection with water. And I use water in ceremony and blessings. Well, I've always identified, like I mentioned, with my indigenous background from both my mother and my father's side of the family. My father's father was a curandero, and my father tells me stories about how they used to walk in a Sierra Madre from house to house, doing healings, and they would pay him with a chicken or, le pagaban con lo que podía la gente. And so my father would tell me stories about my grandfather. Now, he actually died when I was a little girl. I didn't get to meet him, but I find that he's with me. And when I do my prayers in the morning, I connect with him and ask him if there's any way that he can be with me throughout the day in whatever way that the medicine will be needed. Not only the medicine that is hierbas, the herbs or teas, but the spiritual medicine that people need as well.
Soy de comunidad indígena Ñusabi en nuestra lengua, que se conoce también como mixteco, es en náhuatl y español mexicano. Y pues aquí estamos en el norte de California y hemos identificado varias comunidades indígenas de muchas partes de México y Centroamérica. Entonces nos hemos encontrado aquí y también hemos reconocido que existen gente nativa aquí que son como nosotros, son nuestros hermanos.
Community is huge. Community is what we were pre-colonization. And I think that connection and those, the different roles that we played, I think it's really important for Native youth and for everyone really to see how well we worked together to continue our cultures, continue our existence. Everyone had a role, everyone has their strengths, and when we all come together and work together, it's just for the better.
Well, most Native Americans are in urban settings, and so it's medicine. So learning the culture, there's so many facets to it. Everyone can be touched with a certain type of medicine, whether it's dancing, singing, just being in community. There's a lot of healing and traditional ecological knowledge just alone. So yeah, all those facets are really great medicine that is sustainable for people.
Being able to honor and uplift the traditional lands you're on is an important component to that. Not being on my Yurok and Tolowa lands, I make sure I am on the Wintun and Patwin Nation lands. That's where I'm located. So I make sure to incorporate those cultural teachings, that knowledge, and also within the education for the Native youth that I work with, that they understand the tribal lands that they're on. We're not removed or disconnected from the impacts of colonization to those tribal peoples.
We're going to still continue to work together for the greater good, which is for our people, our LGBTQ Two-Spirit people, our people with disabilities, women of color. I feel like we've came a long way. I feel like we'll get through this. We always will. And as long as we have open communication and honest conversations with our peers, with our relatives, I feel like we're gonna be okay.
My father and my mother didn't really want me to go on that path because they wanted me to go the traditional way of medical school, because this kind of work isn't really valued here or looked upon as something that is like a professional, profession. And so I think that it is important for us to begin that work, to start gathering. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that just yesterday, to have people come, like, for example, to my home and bring their children and begin to teach them about, la hierba, the herbs, what they do. So they can learn and know that it's something that it's valued and that it needs to be passed on before it gets lost.